Hey, this is SJ Talks Tonight coming back at you with another video. Hit that like button. I can show you better than I can tell you. Since a lot of people was coming for me in my last video, I'm going to go ahead and I can show you better than I can tell you. Donald Trump freezes Civil Rights Division's work fighting discrimination. The Trump administration has told the Civil Rights Division at the Justice Department to stop pursuing any new indictments, cases, or settlements in relation to civil rights violations, effectively shutting down the division just days into Trump's second term. A letter to the acting head of the division obtained by the Washington Post orders to ensure that civil rights attorneys do not file any new complaints, motions to intervene agreed upon, the remands, amnesty briefs, or statements of interest. The order and separate memo sent to Kathleen Wolf, acting superior of the Civil Rights Division, freezes action on cert or new cases and directs her to notify DOJ's chief of staff of any consent decrees obtained within the last 90 days, indicting a focus on police abuse cases pursued by the DOJ in connection with violations that sparked the Black Lives Matter protests. Insights for the LGBTQ plus community. Subscribe to our briefing insights on how politics impacts the those were the focus of the Biden administration in the aftermath of the 2020 police shootings of George Floyd in Minneapolis and Breonna Taylor in Louisville. Oversight agreements were reached in both these sites. The warning of days of Biden's presidency neither has been approved by a judge. The Redditors said the new administration may wish to reconsider such agreements related to their investigations. Justice Department pursued a dozen investigations into state and local law enforcement agencies during Biden's term and issued findings in 9 of them. The halt to new work by civil rights divisions, including cases of LGBTQ and civil rights violations. Guidance from the White House. DOJ outlines protections provided in law against discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation, gender identity, and interest traits based on Supreme Court decisions. As of Friday, the explanation of that guidance was still available on the DOJ website. The freeze and review orders conveyed by Chad Mizell, DOJ's new chief of staff, said the halt was consistent with the department's goal of ensuring that the federal government speaks with one voice in view of the law to ensure that the president's appointees or the designees have the opportunity to decide whether to initiate any new cases. So Donald Trump put a freeze on any civil rights cases and affecting the LGBTQ. It affects African Americans. Any civil rights cases that's in there, he's put a freeze on them. Some of you Trump supporters, is that what you support? Is that what you go along with? You go along with him freezing, putting a freeze on civil rights cases? Is that something you guys go along with that? You guys that voted for Trump, you people that's coming for me in my comment section on my other video, you go along with that? You black people that voted for him, is that something that y'all stand behind that? Y'all go along with that? You going along with this man taking away people's civil rights? Is that what y'all can get behind that? Y'all going along with this man taking away people's civil rights? Is this what y'all go along with? That speaks volumes of the racist people in this country. If you're standing behind Trump on this, that speaks volumes. Donald Trump freezes civil rights Division work fighting discrimination. Now, I can show you better than I can tell you. Because people was coming for me in my comment section on my talking about, you don't know what you're talking about. Okay, I can show you better than I can tell you. Donald Trump freezes Civil Rights Division's work fighting discrimination. Says it right there. Is that something you Trump supporters? Is that something you stand behind? What if you fall under this? This affects everybody in one way or form. If you fall under uh, any one of those categories, LGBT, uh, dis, disabled, minority, a woman, if you're someone of a particular age, you could be discriminated. There's age discrimination. You could be discriminated against because of your age. White men can be, if you're a white male and you fall under any one of those categories, you're a white man and you are a particular age, there is a such thing as age discrimination. An employer can discriminate against you because of your age. If you're LGBT, GT, whatever, they can discriminate against you because of that. If you're a white male and you fall under that category, you could be discriminated against because of that. If you have a disability, if you're a white male and you have a disability, you could be discriminated against because of that. And because of this freeze that he's putting on, you can't file no case. You can't file a civil rights case. That means that Donald Trump doesn't give a hoot about anybody's civil rights, because equal rights thing, that's what it covered. It covered not just minorities, but disabled people. Hold on. This DEI, when President Donald Trump returned to the White House, one of his first actions as the nation's leader included beginning to dismantle and disrupt diversity, equality, and inclusion efforts. Under that umbrella at the federal level, the same day he took office, Trump signed an executive order titled Ending Radical and Wasteful Government DEI Programs prefacing. He then directed that all federal DEI staff be placed on paid leave and eventually laid off. Is that something y'all stand behind? You Trump supporters that's coming from me in my comment section, you guys stand behind that? You stand behind people being laid off because they fall under DEI? People that they suspect that falls under that. That can include disabled people. That can include LGBT. That can include people of a particular age, because those signs that they post, and every employer is required to post. Every employer that I've ever worked for, that sign was always there. That includes disabled people, not just minorities, disabled people, women, people of a particular age, LG, sexual orientation. I can't say all those alphabets. That's what it included. And if you are a white male, and you fall under any of those categories, that this DEI can affect you. Okay? Is that something you stand behind? If you're a Trump supporter, is that something you stand behind? You black people that voted for Trump, is that something you stand behind? Yeah, the fact that this man shut down the civil rights cases speaks volumes. In other words, he's basically saying he doesn't care about your civil rights. He doesn't care about your civil rights if you're a minority. He doesn't care about your civil rights if you're disabled. He doesn't care about your civil rights if you're a particular age and you're being discriminated against. He doesn't care about your rights if you're LGBTG. Okay? If you're a white male and you fall under any of those categories, he doesn't care about your rights. That's basically what he's saying. So anybody that's saying that this is the right thing to do, something is wrong with you. Your mind ain't right. This is wrong. This was put into place because of the playing field was not level for not just mainly minorities, but other groups of people too that was being discriminated against. Okay, those laws were put into effect. If you go to your employer right now and you thoroughly read that sign, it's not just talking about minorities. It's talking about disabled people, age, sexual orientation, okay? Sex. This is going to affect women, okay? It's going to affect women, and if the employer decides they don't want to hire women, okay, he's rolling that back. He's rolling all that back. He's trying to roll all that back. And then he's trying to fix it so you can't sue if you feel like your civil rights is being violated. You can't sue because he's put a freeze on that. The current cases that's going on, he put a freeze on them. Is that something that you Trump supporters stand behind? Is that something that y'all stand behind? Federal workers ordered to report on colleagues over DEI crackdown. The warning came one day after the administration ordered that the diversity, equality, and inclusion efforts across the government shut down by 5 p.m. Wednesday. So is that something you guys get behind? You guys support federal workers being laid off because they fit under that category of DEI? Is that something you guys stand behind? Which can still affect white males if they fall under that category, any of those categories? Because that's y'all think it's just about minorities. It's not just about minorities. It's about age, sex, disability, LGBT, sexual orientation, all that falls under that umbrella. So you mean to tell me, even though if you're a Trump supporter and you fall under any of those categories, it can affect you too. And he's making it so if you feel like your civil rights are being violated, he's trying to fix it so you can't sue. So basically, he's basically telling you he doesn't care about your civil rights. He doesn't care about your civil rights. DEI is what got him his job. Because he was hired despite the fact that he is a felon. He was hired as the President of the United States despite the fact that he is a felon. If that's not DEI, I don't know what is. He is a felon, but he was still hired as the President of the United States. If that's not DEI, I don't know what is. So you mean to tell me his rights and rich white men's rights are the only rights that's important to him? Nobody else's rights are important to him. Minorities, women, disabled, people of a particular age. Because all LGBT, all those fall under that category. All of them. You mean to tell me he don't care about nobody's rights but rich white men? That's basically what he's saying in a nutshell. You Trump supporters get behind that, especially you black ones. You better think about it. Think about what you put in there. Y'all gonna learn today. Y'all gonna learn today. I don't want to have to cut down my comment section. Don't come for me. I don't want to have to shut off my comment section. But I'm just asking you a question. If you are a Trump supporter, is this something you stand behind? Because it's right here. It's right here. I'm showing you what it's saying right here. Since you guys want to act like I don't know what I'm talking about. This is something you stand behind. Of people being laid off, federal workers being laid off, losing their jobs. Donald Trump freezes Civil Rights Division work in fighting discrimination. So if you're a white male and you go up and you are under any of those things that I just listed, you will be affected. Y'all gonna learn today. See you later.